Incredible great news as Wall Street awaits stimulus. They believe it's happening, they believe it's coming. And now, as all the other things that were distracting Wall Street for several days, you notice it was down, a few weeks ago. They now are settled in on focusing on stimulus. The vaccine news today was absolutely incredible, so it sort of checks one of the things off the list that they were worried about in the coming months. Now, all is stimulus. And the street is the single biggest voice to predict what's happening. And they say stimulus is coming. So does Jerome Powell, head of the Federal Reserve. And this is incredible great news on street and stimulus. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Street and Stimulus, our broadcast in which we detail how Wall Street focuses on stimulus, predicts stimulus, and pushes for stimulus. It's incredible great news because you see a different perspective of stimulus, basically the predictors of stimulus and the pushing of stimulus. These are not people who are actually writing the bill, but telling you when the bill will come and how it needs to come. Boy, it's a great day, and you see the excitement across the channel, and boy, I'm so glad you joined me. If you've not subscribed, please do. We're doing incredible great stuff. We're absolutely getting to the finish line, and it's the spirit of this channel, the spirit of the Purple Power, and I'm so excited for you. Also, like this video, it helps so that the video appears higher in the rankings. Into this video, I'll be going over what Wall Street's doing today, what's thinking about with stimulus, what's thinking about with Mitch, and thinking with Joe, and what you should be thinking about, and boy, what you should be thinking about as we go into those winter months. It's cold here. I'm outside. The lighting is incredibly great. It's completely blue skies, but I'm freezing as you cannot imagine. And so my dedication to make sure that you get a beautiful, aesthetically pleasing, informative, and fun broadcast is my top priority, despite the fact that I'm absolutely dying. So let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news as you sit here today is that Wall Street believes that stimulus is coming, and that Wall Street is really focused on the importance of stimulus coming now more than ever before. You saw the volatility that Wall Street has been dealing with in recent days, and it's because that they think that stimulus is needed because the current economic numbers are not tied to the current stimulus situation. They want unemployment benefits. They want stimulus checks. They want hazard pay. They want monies to ensure that this economy keeps on going on and keeps on rebounding. Otherwise, we could be lagging for a very long time. They don't like lagging. Today, they got the incredible great news that caused the 1,500-point surge of the economy of Wall Street that a Pfizer vaccine is coming in late this year. Now, it solves that cures and prevents you from getting COVID-19. It's a 90% efficiency rate, and the vaccine would be deployed in December for some of Americans, and then for the rest of the population in 2021. What's important to understand is that the vaccine would not be in most people's hands in December in this year. And so as a result, you could get COVID. You could become unemployed. You could need stimulus relief. What's also really important is that business shutterings will still continue if you don't have a vaccine in place for millions of Americans. So what Wall Street understood today is that one of the things that it's concerned about is now off the checklist. You can check off the concern about a vaccine. You now know that there is a vaccine and when it's coming to millions and billions of people nationally in the United States and overseas as well. So then the next concern is, when is stimulus coming? Because at this point, they've slowly eliminated all their risk concerns, and stimulus is the last one. Wall Street last week and this week is grappling with the issue of getting stimulus into this economy right now. Wall Street over the last 2 weeks has had absolutely incredible, great economic news. And every time the economic news came out, they said, yeah, it's really great news, but that was from the last stimulus package. This is really great economic news, but it was from the last stimulus package. Every time that they got something positive, they tailored it by saying, yeah, but you're not going to see that again unless you have stimulus. And so what they're saying very loud and clear is unemployment assistance, stimulus checks and hazard pay, business money, PPP or EIDL, getting it quickly and getting it simple. What Joe Biden has said in his transition papers, which is absolutely incredibly important, is that you make sure that people get it in an easy way and a quick way and not a difficult way. You know, the reason why I'm here is because I did EIDL videos. The success of this channel in April and March, in April and May, was people having problems with a government agency. This is why this channel succeeded, because I was trying to figure out how to solve a problem of a government agency, SBA, not paying out EIDL loans. I was also dealing with problems with PUA, people not getting their unemployment assistance, PPP, people not getting their loans. And this is what Wall Street's concerned about and focused on. So what's important to understand is that Wall Street wants you to have stimulus and wants to have you have enough. They don't want you to have a little bit of it. They want you to have a lot of it. Multiple stimulus checks. It meets the criteria of Wall Street. Big unemployment assistance, it meets the criteria of Wall Street. Hazard pay, it meets the criteria of Wall Street. They're excited about all this. And so is Jerome Powell, the head of the Federal Reserve, wants you to have this as well. Wall Street also is understanding that if you just do a little drip, 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 just sort of like a leaky faucet, drip, 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 drip of second stimulus that doesn't do anything but drip, then you just sort of belabor the situation. Everything gets worse, and we're not rebounding. Millions of Americans already understand this. You understand the stimulus relief needs to come right now, and we have the holiday season coming up, and I see in all the comments that people are gauging things based upon stimulus coming. You talk about the holiday season. I want stimulus to make sure my Christmas was nice. I want stimulus to make sure that I'm not homeless. I want stimulus to ensure that I can see my relatives and drive to them. I want to ensure that I have my utilities on. And Wall Street is focused on that as well. Today, when the vaccine announcement was made, most of the stay-at-home stocks like Peloton, the cycling business, the bicycle at home, fell dramatically, down $20, $30. Stocks where you would that are not stay-at-home, like Ross department store, where clothes for the price of less, or whatever the expression is, way up, $20 up, $30 up. Ultimately, you may see that and say, well, I don't have money to spend at Ross. And Wall Street understands that. They understand that you need stimulus because Ross will not continue to trade up if no one has money to go to Ross. No one will have money to buy something for the holiday season if they don't have stimulus checks in their hands. And they understand that your ability to pay things is dependent upon you getting stimulus. It's categorically incredible great news. It's one of the few times that I've seen in recent months where I have everyone on page the same way. I have the Republicans, I have the Democrats, I have Wall Street, I have the political leaders, I have the Federal Reserve, all on the same page. And then there's Jerome Powell, who doesn't want cost of living to go through the roof and you don't have stimulus. He wants to hit it back with first, pushing that you get stimulus. Second, keeping cost of living flat. I know it's raised up. We all see cost of milk has gone through the roof. We all see that a gallon of milk, a dozen eggs, all these things have gone up. And he sees as well. He was asked about it. He says, you know what? I understand that inflation's going up. I'm going to make sure that it does not go up anymore. It's sort of your fault, Jerome, that it went up to where it is now. Ultimately, that was an error. But the Federal Reserve has a lot of ammunition. Earlier today, an analyst was on CNBC, not an on-salary anchor, not a staffer from CNBC, but a separate analyst from Wall Street. And he said that the Federal Reserve did stuff in the 4 weeks after this first stimulus package was announced that it has never done in almost 15 to 20 years, and that the Federal Reserve has a lot more to do for you. So this is incredible great news, that you understand that when we talk about street and stimulus, we don't just talk about Wall Street predicting your stimulus, but we also talk about the Federal Reserve being able to step in and do stimulus relief for you incredibly fast, incredibly well. So what you should be focusing on coming up on evenings at LALATE after this on check is how much is the check? How many stimulus checks? How big is the FPUC? How do you get the message out to repurpose that existing CARES Act 1 money? Why is hazard pay back on? And how much hazard pay should you get? What about that student loan debt forgiveness? All this incredible great news hitting so quickly and so fast. Let me go over some incredible questions and comments from yesterday's video because, boy, it's a great day. Yesterday's video was a live taping, so there were less comments, but boy, it was a lot of fun. Ms. Lovely, plain this meeting goes goes well. Kimberly, God, mercy on this nation. We are suffering people, and God, look to God for his loving grace. God bless LA, this community in the USA. Hello, Kimberly. Beautiful message. Phyllis, hello, LA and Purple Power. How much will we be receiving the stimulus checks to be determined? George, I understand that when the bill's going to get passed. Cindy, having great evenings, get some rest. Have a great week. Patsy, good evening, LA and Purple Power family. Everyone have a good one. God bless. Jasper, hitting Facebook and Twitter. Teresa, as long as President Cheryl, hello, LA Purple Power family. We need $2,000, not $1,200. Skinny. Hey, Judy Christensen, so glad Nancy Pelosi's not in this. Yes, we are. These are some of the credible comments that Joe Biden said in his statement over the weekend. On his campaign, he said that it's important to get stimulus out immediately to working families, small businesses, communities, provide state and local and tribal governments with the aid they need so educators, firefighters, and other essential workers aren't being laid off. Extend COVID unemployment insurance for those who are out of work. Provide comeback package for Main Street businesses and entrepreneurs. Immediately put people to work by enlisting them to help fight the pandemic, including through a public health jobs corps. Incredible, great news. If you've not subscribed to this channel, please do. We're pushing, and so are you. Also, like this video. Coming up next is Evenings at LALATE, starting with a live taping of Purple, followed by Check, which is going to be jaw-dropping. Boy. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, and stay in LA for more.